I'm Mary. I'm all about shifting away darkness, guiding you to your truest potential, and cracking open that beautiful glowing light in your heart. Well, welcome. Here we are. We're still in April. It's April 13th. It's Thursday in the Matrix work week. And I'm saying hello to you. And I'm hoping that you're having a good week. There's a lot going on out in the world, and I know I've said that many times. There's so much going on in the world. What exactly does that mean? That's so vague. That sounds so vague. Well, from what I'm realizing is essentially there is tons and tons of disclosure constantly coming out there, and I can't even take it all in. It's so much. There is so much disclosure, and it's not happy stuff. And it's kind of depressing, if not upsetting. And there are so many videos and photos. And then I'm starting to say, is this real or is this not real? Not true. And it seems as though everyone's starting to believe beyond what maybe the event was or the situation was. And it's overwhelming, and it's like giving me a headache. I went to the beach today after my job, and I just couldn't even calm my mind down because I'm trying to process so much information. I don't know if that's happening for you, but it's a little overwhelming, a lot overwhelming. And when you are living in a community that you're kind of the minority in your philosophy, but I am seeing that more are becoming awakened. So there is some kind of break from, I guess, negativity or doubt, or you're a conspiracy theorist. I say I'm a truth seeker. I almost believe every time I see conspiracy, this is a conspiracy theory, I go, oh, okay, there's the truth. Let me read about that. It's like a giveaway. And before we get into the topics tonight, Pandora papers, decentralized, and build new earth, which is the happy stuff. The happy stuff. Thanks, everyone. Hey, Craig. I wonder if you're here. I hope anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So if I'm off, it's because I'm getting over like this sore throat, but also my mind, it cannot settle itself. And I don't know if it's like I don't know where I am. I even tried to ground myself, which I always say, you imagine your feet firmly planted in the earth's surface. This morning, I even went and stood by a tree. Maybe I'm just reading too much. Do you ever feel as though you're reading too much and learning too much and finding too much out? And it's excessive. What I'm realizing, and I bet you realized it as well, is that we were raised in a system, we were raised in this civilization, and all of those that had positions of leadership, or they had power, maybe they were, or we know they were those who had very large bank accounts. They were the wealthy ones. And what I'm realizing is that all of that, and they're the minority. If you say how much is the population, those elite, those leaders are the minority, and there's a lot less of them. So we can take them on, but we have to realize and awaken and know that so much of what we were told, so much of it was false. And there was corruption and criminal activity and money laundering and bank accounts overseas and playing the stock market when you know that something was going to rise up because you're in a political position. And it's BS. It's not fair. We grew up in a system that wasn't fair to us. We are to a disadvantage. And the tables are turning. The tables are turning. This is the event. We are right now experiencing the event. And the event is disclosure. And the difference between today and, let's say, 2 weeks ago or even a week ago is that more of us have awakened. And the more that awaken, then the more they are posting it on their social media, having word of mouth, which means they kind of are taking over for us to bring in more that are coming out of this state of amnesia, this slumber that they've been in. And it's good. It's excellent. I'm happy about it. However, it's just going on for so long, and there's even more everyday information that I don't want to see. And so much of this involves these DUMBs and these tunnels underground and the Getty and the child trafficking and childs in cages and putting children um, and breeding them for using, for their use. And it's disgusting and sick. And I can't take that. I can't take that. And I don't want to know about it, and I don't want to hear about it. But I guess it's taking that extreme for people to awaken and realize that what we were raised in and what we thought to be true, it was all of this dishonesty. Like something as simply as, get this, I'm going to the gym this morning, and on Twitter I see the Flintstones. And if you look at the Flintstones, they had this secret society that they went to. And if you look at the little insignia that's on their headdress, first of all, it has horns. It's Freemason. So they even camouflage this in our cartoon, the Flintstones. It's craziness. It's everywhere. And I guess I'm ranting a little bit, aren't I? And I apologize for that. Hey, Bob Harding. Wait, what does this say? It's tiresome when you realize you're playing chess, but the world is. Yes, and I have to say, even though I'm ranting, and even though I seem as though maybe I'm having like a little bump in the road, I feel like I got wind slapped in my face. I'm going to keep going, and I'm here, and I'm being supportive, and I'm sending love, and I'm cherishing you and your worthy being of light. Doesn't matter what you have, what you look like, where you live, or what your job is. You're beautiful and you're cherished. You're a lovely being. Know that. Have self-love. Okay, so the Pandora Papers. What exactly is the Pandora Papers? Well, guess what? It's some hidden information. So leaders, we found out, had been hiding riches. And so here's the truth. 12 million leaked documents, 2.9 terabytes of data published in October 2021. Now, why am I hearing about this now? Well, maybe it's a little late I'm hearing about it. Maybe this was kind of hidden in, I guess, the news feed. I don't watch the news. But for whatever reason, it resonated with me. And I think it's because of the bank situation and how the banks are collapsing. And are we going to be moving? And we are going to be moving, not are we? We are going to be moving on to a new financial system. And I was reading all today about blockchain, watching videos about blockchain and what is that. And so this Pandora Papers, these documents exposed the secret offshore accounts of 35 world leaders, past presidents, prime ministers, more than 100 billionaires, celebrities, and business leaders. So the monies were held offshore so that they would be able to be saved from the taxes and being able to spend the money without anyone knowing. Now, did anyone know? I'm going to tell you something right now. What I'm finding out is everyone has been in cahoots. Everyone. The banks, the IRS, our leaders, the Federal Reserve, all of them have been in cahoots. And they have just been taking our money and they've been laundering it, and then they've been dispersing it wherever they want to. And that's what's been going on. That is true. That is what's been happening. We have been tricked. We've been tricked, and we thought, oh, let's go to our job. Maybe I'm working in Starbucks. Maybe I'm working at Kohl's, or maybe I'm an accountant, whatever it may be. And you're working, and you're a regular Joe, you're normal, you're average like I am. And then you're getting your taxes taken out of your paycheck. And you're just working, 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 because the system and the belief system that we had has been that we have to have a job, we have to go to college, we have to have all these mortgages, and we have to buy a car or lease a car. And this is all creating for us debt, 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 piles of debt. And unbeknownst to us, we are not realizing that it's this system that we're in the middle of it, right? And around us, there are these leaders and these politicians and these billionaires, and they're all looking down at us and they're just using us. We've been used. So I'm just sharing that with you. Maybe you want to I'm just saying, take a look at, be aware that this is what's been going on. So there's been offshore investments, offshore companies, and the documents expose the movement and shielded by foreign trusts, people looking to avoid taxes and scrutiny. And that's the Pandora Papers. So New Hampshire has been known to be a place, a hub for tax evasion. Secretly stash foreign assets from the inside out. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and share in the chat and tell me where you're coming from. And from the inside out, there's been corruption. Like if we could dump it all out and we could look at it and we could say, what's been going on here? I mean, it's really about our perspective and taking a look at it. And now that I'm kind of getting to all the boundaries of what's been going on, and maybe that's why I'm at the end of really researching and looking, and I just want to take my mind off it and focus on the new earth. And I want to focus on healing. I know there's more topics that I have to bring up and just wise us up. However, I kind of want to get over this. I don't want to know anymore about the matrix. I'm sick of the matrix at this point. But if we dumped everything out and we looked at it and we said, where are our strengths, where are weaknesses? Well, our strengths is that there's more of us than them. Our strengths are we know now. And it's only going to become more and more evident. More of us are going to be awakened. And more of us are going to be coming from a place that we learn all this information. And we're going to go through stages. We're going to be angry. Then we're going to feel loss. We're going to be confused. We're going to be disappointed. And we're going to have a lot of emotions that we're going to run through before we come to a place of feeling like we're ready to build this new world. And some of us will have more time than others to realize and process this. But it's definitely a position of transition right now. It's between the old and the new. And in between really is not fun. Because you don't know when the new is going to take place. You want the old to be over. And then you're dealing with, what did I just live through? Why did I have to suffer this much? And then you start to go into your faith and you start to have doubts and you don't feel so good anymore. And it's very sad. And I think I'm going through that right now. And I could start to cry because I'm really sad. I'm really sad about how things have gone. I'm really upset that there's people out there that would injure or hurt us. Right now, it's been for hundreds of years going on. And so I'm just saying to you that what I'm going to do to get through this probably is to fall back onto spending time in nature, reminding myself of light, to tune inward to my heart and go to love and think about the love and feel the love that I have for someone. Actually, for many, I have love for many. And I guess light on the horizon, good things are coming beyond our view. A difficult situation will improve, which is like what I say when the sun is rising. Now this evening, I looked out my window and I saw the skyline and I saw that the sun was setting. And I'm sorry I got off the beaten track and going into my personal information right now, but I just couldn't help it anymore. And I had to kind of find a place that I could kind of lift myself up. And by sharing, I'm not blocking my expression. So I apologize, but I'm maybe telling you too, because I don't know if you're going to go through this. I don't know how you're going to feel. And I've been sleeping more than usual because I think I'm trying to deal with all of this. Oh, hey, who else is here? Trident Fives. This is my personal spirit days in life, and I'm so sad. I wish I could play a role in fixing this for other good and great people. Hey, everyone. Hey, music. Okay, so maybe I'm not the only one who's kind of going through this awakening. Part of the awakening and the ascension is, and what I believe will happen is there, we might be those that handle this process better than others, or maybe I'm not handling it well. Maybe I'm not handling the disclosure well and finding out that there's the Pandora papers and all of these all this deception in the banking system and the money laundering and the American cartels, the US cartels, and the political arena, and the divide and anger and hate and all of this demonic, crazy stuff. Maybe I'm not handling it well. Maybe I don't know, but moving forward, I guess I have to go through it so then I can help others when they have to process it. And maybe that's what we should know right now. Who's that? Hey, Leslie, are you new? Do you take shrooms to see your visions? I need tips. No, I don't. Where are you coming from? Let me put you on the list. No, I don't take shrooms. I don't take anything, actually. I just tune inward because I've been doing it for so long. It's easier than it used to be because I can kind of ask a question and then get an answer. I'm in the misfit in life because I'm polite. I am from Westminster. Thanks for joining us. You're coming from Cali. How are you doing? Well, I'm glad you found us. Here we are living in the light right here, and I'm coming from New York. Okay, so I do my little rant. I'll move on with the Pandora papers, and then I'll speak about decentralized because we're going to talk about the money situation. So New Hampshire is known to be a tax evasion hub. So they've been secretly, and they have been secretly stashing foreign assets from the inside out. There's corruption, deception, blackmail, extortion. People of the US, there's been the media, pharma's involved, the government, the religions, the education system, all are corrupt. Don't kid yourself. All are corrupt. And I have to go back to what I said the other day was, if you're watching the mainstream media and you say, well, I know that's a lie, then why wouldn't you think everything else is a lie? It's all lies. It's all to feed us information, to keep us in fear, to keep us controlled, to keep us in crisis. Because when I looked into what's the biggest fear that across the globe people have is death. Death is the biggest fear. So if they say to you, if you don't do this, you're going to die, people are like, oh, I'm so scared, I'm going to die. You're not going to die. You're not going to die. You're going to be a survivor of 2023. You're a survivor. You're a beautiful being of light. You're highly advanced. And guess what? As we ascend and we get through this transition that we're in, this is the event we're in right now. This is the event. So everything's going to change. Everything's going to change. Like I said today on Twitter, the Tower of Babel. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, Mary Amy Official. And the Tower of Babel has fallen. And we have to realize that there are more of us than those that are trying to control us and use us and maybe depopulate us. Hey, doing fantastic. How are you? Well, I was sleepy and discouraged lately, but coming out of it, good. Another plant medicines can force your third eye open and you're not prepared, haven't done that in a while. Might just be what you need, Amber. You guys are great in the chat. Keep it going. Keep the chat going. Okay, so what's decentralized? I come up with these topics because I sense that there's something that I should bring forward and they resonate with me. And I'm curious and I go down the rabbit hole and I say, I need to know a little bit about this. I need to educate myself. So decentralized, and here's the dollars. I have some dollars here. So the division of power. Now, up until now, we've been living in these centralized banking systems. And that means that we go to the bank and we get our money, and that's the system. We put the money in the bank and then we go to the bank and get it out. But what we're finding out is that the money isn't in the bank. They lend it out. We don't know. Maybe it's in an offshore account. We don't know where the money is. It's not in the bank, because if we all went down to the bank, then the money would not be there. Maybe my little drop in the bucket would be, but I don't know if I was a millionaire, I would be able to pull it out. So decentralized is the division of power, central authority divided instead of a single center of power. Now, until now, we've had the federal banking, we've had the IRS, the Federal Reserve, and we've had our banks. And now what's going on is, I mentioned BRICS, and I also mentioned last night, there's another, I'm trying to remember what we talked about not last night, it was 2 nights ago. And it was another joining of countries. And right now what we're realizing is we are going to go into a new financial system. So that's why I kind of learned and read up on what that might be. If it's going to be, the digital, when they say digital, that word scares me, because I heard that the New World Order wanted to go digital, and then they wanted to take all our money. And if they chose to, and they didn't like what we were saying or what we were doing, they could shut down our banking. Hey, Michael Jackson, Sandman, you got it, Sandman. Project Sandman. I see my mind's all over the place, right? So decentralized. We are going to become decentralized when it comes to our currency, our money. It's going to be set up differently than it has been so far. Hey, Craig, couldn't resist 20 minutes. Got to go to sleep. Okay, go to sleep. Robert, I keep pushing, helping, please. Yes, I'll be back tomorrow night. I'm definitely going to have to do something tomorrow night. It might be pretty early, just so you know, like 4:30-ish. So division of power, central authority divided instead of a single center of power, carried out independently, not controlled or distributed. So not distributed, by a government or a bank or third party. It will be bank-free methods. And it will be used to transfer wealth or ownership of any commodity without the need of a third party. I was learning about that today. There are multiple points that we do. There are multiple points that do the work. So no single entity deciding the aspects of currency. There's going to be many different ways of, I guess, holding assets. This is the opposite of centralized currency, where the central bank decides on the supply of money. So it won't matter if the Federal Reserve says, oh, we're going to print some more money. It's not going to matter. The dollar is going to go to zero. Okay, the dollar is going to zero. The banks are falling apart and the dollar is going to zero. Bye. See you guys soon. Whoever's leaving, I hope you liked the video and subscribe. So I found out about blockchain. I want to bring up blockchain because to me it sounded like a foreign term. And I thought, let me investigate what this is. And I heard it in relation to the quantum financial system. And the quantum financial system they speak of has to do with a quantum computer. You have, I guess it's like a card, or it's on a phone, and all of your money is transferred into this system. And the way you look at it is through your computer or through this phone. And you can transfer money from that. So blockchain is a list of records that are linked together. It's just simply your transactions. That's all blockchain is. But rather than it being hidden, it's all in the open. You will have, I guess, a number or some way of linking yourself to your account, and it's all public if you want it to be public. But a blockchain is a list of records that are linked together. So it's basically a tally of everything that you've done. Each block contains a cryptographic hash of the previous block, a timestamp, and a transaction data. So start to become aware of what blockchain is, because I believe that that's what's coming forward for us. We're going to be hearing this terminology, and this all sounds complicated, but it's really not. It's really not. I wrap my brain around it, and I'm starting to understand. So it's basically, it's going to be, a blockchain is basically a list of all of your transactions. You know, like when you go to your bank, you go to your bank account and you look at it, says your transactions. That's what a blockchain is, and it will link it all together, but it won't be hidden. Everyone's going to be able to see everyone else's. So you can't hide money. You can't take money. Everything is all there. It's all out in the open. And this new system that's going to take over, you won't be able to launder money. You won't be able to have offshore investments. That won't work anymore. It's not going to be relevant. And I'm excited for this. And if I speak about this and you hear it and then you think about it, all of our thoughts, like I say, are very powerful, and we will create this reality and will bring positivity to us. Like I say, wrap light around it. So there'll be a timestamp that proves the transaction and the data existed. And it forms a chain. It's irreversible. Once it's recorded, it cannot be altered. So no one can mess with your stuff. And we know exactly where it is. It just stays there. It's there. I keep hearing about gold, precious metals, and silver. I hear about the emergency broadcast system, the EBS, and I say, is this something that someone created, a myth? Is this some myth? Is this real? Is this really going to happen, where we're going to have 7 to 10 days of darkness and disclosures that we're going to watch on TV, and then we're going to have the emergency broadcast notify us, and then we're going to go down to a center and get our quantum financial system in order? I don't know. It sounds really good, and I like the idea of Nasara Jasara. I like the idea of no more income tax, having being debt-free, no more credit cards, and starting from ground zero, I guess you could say. I sense that that's what's happening, that we are in for a big change. And I've also been hearing over and over again, be prepared, have enough money for 10 days or more. And I'm not going into kind of any panic. I'm not doing that. I'm just living in the moment. I'm here right now. And I'm not really that concerned about that, because I always figure things out. What is Bob Harding saying? I prefer the anonymity of bartering. Yes, and you know what? I brought up yesterday, or day before yesterday, I brought up what's going to be of value. Think of things that are going to be of value. Land, whatever you can sell, whatever something that you have that's of value, your skill set, and I guess vegetables and food, like fruit and herbs, and like I said before, precious metals and silver and gold, and more, I guess, what used to be of value before we got into this crazy world that we've been living in, this culture, these trends. Um, you guys are funny. What are you writing now? Music. Robert Edward Garrett has some interesting takes on these things. Well, thanks for sharing. You are all very well read. I appreciate that. So blockchain is a possibility. I know it already exists, and I sense that that's something of importance, and that's why I brought it up. Let's get into the new earth. Let's get into building a new earth. And what exactly does that mean? Well, it's interesting. I share with you that I receive light codes, and I get the buzzing in my right ear, and at night I hear this other dimensional tone that's in my left ear. And then it kind of takes me on a journey into my sleeping state. And I had one night, I guess maybe it was Monday night, I received a bunch of light codes, and I saw light, blue light, and I was greeted by different beings, and I had some dreams, memorable dreams, and I actually had this dream that I was in my bed, and my alarm did not go off, and then I couldn't find a way to tell them at my job in the matrix that I had overslept. But then there was this little infant baby in my bed, and I know in the past I would carry around this little girl, and she had blonde hair the way I looked when I was little, and I guess it was my inner child that I was trying to take care of. And maybe that's what happened that the other night when I was having this dream, that I'm trying to take care of my inner child. Because sometimes I sense and feel as though emotionally I have support. And other times I realize I'm living this life alone. With all the friends I have and all the family members and my loved one, I feel alone because I'm seeing the world a certain way. I have a perspective through my eyes, and no one else can do it but us. We have to take our own journey. So I guess that might have been the dream, was a representation of putting all of me back together. Here's the baby and here I am, and I've never felt like I was good enough. I never felt like I did enough. I never felt like I was going to succeed. And that was probably from trauma. That was probably from criticism. And I took that on. And I guess what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to transform into this new version of me. And the old version of me is kind of stuck. Like when you're climbing through a fence and your leg gets caught or a piece of clothing gets caught. I'm kind of stuck on the fence. I'm stuck getting to the other side. And that might be the transition that I'm in right now. And I have to accept it, because what else can I do? And I just have to do my best. But moving on, because I'm digressing here. I'm trying to tell you that I had this other vision that night. And this vision was a door, and through the door opened, and through the door shone light. And then another door, and another door, and another door. And there was hundreds of these doors, and all this light was shining on. Now, maybe that was a symbol, or it was the concept of what's going on across the globe, of those becoming awakened, like light shining. But I realized that being a light worker, I can utilize that. And so what I decided to do was I decided to in my mind, go through as many situations as I could, or locations, and I would shine the light on into those locations. And so that's a recommendation that I have for you, is to try this yourself. Now, it's my vision. I don't know if you can grab onto it, but I'm sharing it with you. So it's just simply a door, and the door swings open and light shines through the door, this white light. And if we can do that, if we can continue to shine light, and you think it doesn't matter your thought, you're creating this. This is energy. Your thoughts are energy. You're putting this out into the universe. You're cosmically placing this information somewhere, and it will take hold. So like attracts like. So this will make a change. Everything you do that's positive changes the rest of the globe in some way. You ever hear about the butterfly? It's called the butterfly effect, and the flapping of the wings of a butterfly can bring on a tsunami somewhere else. So every single thought, every single emotion, every single feeling that you have affects everything else in the universe to some degree, large or small. So I'm recommending that we have this visual of opening these doors with light is brought into every situation, every person. The Akashic Records. The Akashic Records holds every single minute of every single situation that's ever happened. So we're going to free ourselves from constriction. We're going to take away hindrances, and we must grow stronger to build this new earth. Okay? Now, think about it this way. We'll move forward. Imagine if you got plopped down into the wilderness. Would you survive all by yourself? Would you survive in the wilderness if you got dropped down into the wilderness? What would you do to survive? Of course you would survive. If you decided to, you could do it. So you're going to find and realize your abilities today. What are they? What are they up until this moment that you know you're capable of? And I bet you're capable of so much more. If you could take yourself back to like middle school, elementary school, one day maybe you were sewing something and you never worked on that. Maybe you could sew, for all we know. Maybe you have a skill set that you have not realized yet. What are all your abilities? You have more than you realize. So if you were dropped into the wilderness, could you survive? How would you survive? Because we are building a new earth. We have to start from ground zero and build up this world. And we're doing it through our thoughts and through our words and through our actions. And we're doing it through love, and we're doing it through healing and repairing ourselves. And we're holding on to the guy behind us, and we're bringing them forward, and we're accepting them and loving them and hugging them. Do not wait another moment. All your abilities today. Now, why? Why am I saying this? This makes a difference to Earth survival. If you can spend a few moments of thought in what I'm saying, Earth will survive. Okay, there's a shift right now. This is the shift. Here we are. We're in this transition right now. We are creating this new Earth together. We are shifting it to a better reality. So please reach deep inside yourself. Reach deep. So close your eyes right now. Close your eyes right now. Let's let out a breath. Okay, we're going to go through this, and we're going to just relax all of our arms and legs. We're going to drop down into our bottoms like we say. Maybe you're laying down. Maybe you're sitting down. We're just relaxing. We're letting go of all of the stresses we had from today and the day before and the day before. And we're letting them go. And we're allowing ourselves to be ourselves. We are accepting ourselves fully. Yes, I'm going to be me. It doesn't matter what anyone else says. So you're letting go. You're dropping down. You're focusing on your breath. Inhaling, you're holding it. and you're exhaling. Now, we might be holding our breath because we're stressed. Maybe you spent a lot of time talking today. Maybe you did a lot of reading or writing or whatever it is, or physical activity. You're just settled right here in this moment. And you're pushing away any thoughts. You're pushing away any thoughts. And you're dropping down into your physical vessel. You're making physical contact with yourself. And you're saying, I'm here. I'm here. I'm allowing myself to be here in this moment. And I have gratitude for this moment. I'm accepting myself. I'm giving myself love. You're doing this right now. You're doing all of this, and you're taking care of yourself and supporting yourself. And then what I'd like you to do, I'd like you to go reach deep down inside of yourself. And maybe it's in your mind, maybe it's in your physical body, but you're going to reach far, far, deep, deep down within yourself. And at the very bottom, when you reach all the way down, if you can finally find the bottom, and if you can't, wherever you, as far as you can go, you're going to imagine this light within you, this glowing light. And it's powerful and it's strong and it's going to give you courage. You're going to be braver than you've ever been in your entire life. And you're going to say, I have power within me. I can do anything that I want to do. And you're going to be in this light. You're going to accept this light. And this light is part of you. And you're going to hold this light within you. And you're going to allow it to stay. Now, these are all suggestions, but we are there right now together. You're deeply within yourself. And you have this power. And this light is actually, it's glowing. You know, when you see a bonfire and you see light glowing at a bonfire, that's what it looks like. In fact, this light has a little bit of a flame coming off of it. And that's the fire that you have within you. That's the light that you have within you. And you're going to be in that light right now. And you're going to ask the light, I'm going to be quiet. And you're going to tune into your senses. Choose one of your senses or more than one. And you're going to ask your inner light, what talents do I have? What abilities do I have? And maybe a memory is going to come forward. I'm going to be quiet right now. I'm going to tune into my clear audience. Okay, so I don't know what you received. I received something immediately. Hey, Joe Hollywood, you're back. Hey, glad you're here. Music, I heard that. Okay, so interestingly enough, I had a memory come forward, personal story. It was interesting because I mentioned being dropped into the wilderness. What do you think it was? When I was a little girl, I was in what was called Brownies. And then I was in Girl Scouts. But when I was in Brownies, what did we do? We went camping. We were in the wilderness. And so I had a recollection and a memory of what happened and the little babbling brook and what it was like. And so that actually reminded me of my skill set, of how I'm fine in nature and I'm good in nature. And maybe you had some kind of vision yourself. Maybe you received some kind of information. Now, whatever you receive is part of you. It's an impression that you received and it's right for you. So take note of it. Maybe write it down. Don't forget about it. It's something that you're supposed to know. I'm gonna play out on that when I'm off the video. So we've reached deep down within inside of ourselves today, haven't we? And we've discovered and we are creating. We are in the midst of creating and we are learning. So this divine light, there's this divine light and it's divine presence is within you. Okay, so it's a presence that's perceived as light. The most powerful source of light is divine light, from which you can raise your vibrational frequency. We're vibrational energy. So as we are doing this, whether we realize it or not, we are raising our vibration. We are raising our frequency. And when we do that, we will be bringing forth more of our DNA. More of us will come forward. It will become, we will expand. We are in the midst of expanding. You are expanding. You don't even know who you are yet. It's like you're coming out, you're just being born again. That's what's happening right now. So I've asked you to do this because I want to bring change within you. I'm hoping this brings change within you. And you can call this forward. You can ask for it to come forward, the inner light. And so maybe this inner light that we just spoke about, and we just discovered within us and found and located, we're going to bring it forward. And when you bring it forward, you're going to realize that you're changing yourself. You're going to change yourself because light will change you. When you call for it, it will change you. When you bring it out, it will change you. And how will it change you? You're going to see things you didn't see before. Maybe you're going to start to have little mystical visions. You might become a little bit more compassionate. You might be more sensitive, more aware. You might become more advanced. We don't even know. We're going to be technologically advanced, our physical being. I'm going to get into that in just a second. So this light is healing you. This light is protecting you, and it's empowering your energies. So you're raising your consciousness, you're raising your vibration. So this building of this new earth, this is very exciting, isn't it? It's going to construct all the aspects with your thoughts, with your energies, with your emotions and your feelings. You are creating, you are building it up from the ground up. Like I said a week ago, we are planting seeds. We're past the planting seeds because our thoughts are coming forward. After we get over this very sad moment of realizing the poop that we've been living in, and we move forward, maybe I should go this way, move forward, we are going to discover that we are excited. We're excited about this next moment. We are so excited. And what is going to happen? We're going to have organic humans, telepathy, flying, levitation, which is through a state mindset. Okay? Telekinesis, you're going to be moving objects with our minds, creating motion. Ionic powers, the power to manipulate ions and energy. Strength, speed, form, accuracy. You might become an amazing athlete after this. After this transformation that's about to happen to you, and it's going to happen to you, you might become an incredible athlete. You might all of the sudden be younger than you've been. You might become more youthful. So there's going to be portals that we're going to travel through. There's going to be many portals that we're traveling through. There's frequency medicine, sound healing coming forward, natural herbs and plants, holistic, organic foods and gardens. And that's what we have to look forward to right now. We have this to look forward to. This is where we're going. I know there's this pile of poop behind us. We don't want to look at. If you get sick of looking at it and you get sick of listening to all this disclosure, then don't anymore because you're already awakened. That's for those who haven't awakened because it's taking them a long time. Nothing's shaking them out of it. Do you have family members that have not awakened yet? I do. No matter what I said, they'd say, oh, I don't want to hear about it. Stop it. Whoa, 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 whoa. They didn't want to hear about it. They don't want to hear about it. And we have to be there for them. I'm not saying that when they awaken, we turn our back on them. No, we're not. We are going to hug them and love them. And they are our family. We are a family. So we are going to take care of everyone that we possibly can. Like when you're jumping out of the plane or you're saving the person on the plane, you want to take care of yourself first, yes, and then you take care of your neighbor because they're going to be very confused, very confused. Joe Hollywood, I've been given revelations about this year so strong that it's the traveling trip that is coming back to tell people
Upright, patiently waiting to share all the ways I can. You guys are awesome. Spill the beans.
You guys are awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you, Bob Harding, Joe Hollywood, Music, Trident, Craig. You guys are awesome. So anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So let's see. I want to remind you of angels are beings of light. They come from the heavens to earth here to protect humanity. They are celestial. They are benevolent. This is, I presume, Archangel Michael. You can invite angels into your existence. They are also helpful. Light and angels are very helpful. Maybe your third eye's open and you can see the angelic realm. Like I've said, I had seen one of my first visions when light came into my system was I was inside this tower. You've probably heard me tell this story. And there were these shelves, there were little alcove shelves, and on each shelf was an angel. And there was hundreds upon thousands upon millions of angels in this tower. And I believe the tower went up to the heavens. And it was ornate, and it was gold trim, and it's similar to some of the other visions I've had and light codes I've received since then. And I've told you that I don't have great vision. I wear contact lenses and glasses, but when I'm close my eyes and I have these visions, my vision is perfect. Go figure. I don't know how that's possible, but it is. All right, so before we go, this is kind of where I believe we're going to be going. Here we are, and we're kind of transcending to another consciousness, and we are actually going to be communicating in the ether. We're going to be communicating beyond this world that we're living in, off planet. And you might be one of those who senses that you're a starseed. And a starseed is a being of light that was brought here and was volunteered to help humanity awaken during the ascension process. So are you a starseed? Joe Hollywood, are you a starseed? All right, so, and here's a being of light. You ever see any of these when you have your light codes at night? I've seen things like this, but a lot more detail because that's like a cartoon. All right, so before we go, maybe we'll do one little psychic phenomenon.
Heath Ledger's last two movies represent a lot that is here.
Interesting. Okay, so let's drop down. Let's close our eyes. Let's do some psychic phenomenon. Let's relax. Let's let go of any tension in your hands, in your legs, in your arm. Maybe move your neck around. Let go of any stresses you have. And we're pushing away any thoughts. Right? We're pushing away any thoughts. Because our thoughts are not going to help us during this activity, this exercise, because our thoughts are based on what we know, our programming from this linear world, from this simulation, and our senses are the truth. Our senses will tell us the truth. Just like when you have an uh-oh moment, you say, do I trust my intuition? You always trust your intuition. Always trust your intuition. If you're making a decision, trust your intuition. Okay, so we're dropping down to our vessel. We're making physical contact. And we're accepting. And we're having confidence we can do it. We're taking away any doubt. No doubt. Nothing before this moment. And now I'd like you to, here's the suggestion, tune into your senses. Now, are you listening beyond the walls of the room? What are you hearing? I just heard a fast car out on the street through the window. I can hear my computer. What are you hearing? Are you listening? Because we're opening up all of our senses. We're expanding our awareness right now. And maybe in your third eye, what do you see in your third eye? Oh, I saw a cave. I saw light, like an explosion. I saw a cave and an explosion. And then tune into your heart. What are you feeling in your heart? I'm feeling comfort. I'm feeling love. I'm accepting myself. All right, so now here's the suggestion. Also, you can have claircognizance. You have a knowing. Maybe you're a medium. Maybe you're a channeler, and you're going to receive information through spirit. Maybe you're going to channel information. Sense of touch as well. Okay, and so let's have this suggestion right now. And I'm going to share a suggestion with you. And the suggestion is personal happiness, and that's it. What impressions do you receive when I say the suggestion personal happiness? And I'm going to be quiet. Okay, so I hope that was enough time. I received quite a bit. I saw actually a bunch of different circumstances. And I realized it gave me comfort, because actually personal happiness had nothing to do with stuff. It had nothing to do with money. It had to do with love. To be loved. And that's my personal happiness, to be loved by those that are important in my life. And that's it. And nature was in there as well. So anyone who's joining us, I hope you liked the video. It was wonderful to have you here today. Let's just read this before I go. Let's see what this says. What does this say before I go? Because it's getting late. I've got to go. Maybe it's the imaginary and clearly pressure being taken out in the same area of time. Okay, I'm going to look this up, Joe Hollywood. Okay, Joe Hollywood, I'm going to totally look these up after I get off here, and I'm going to watch them. Everyone, I'm sending you love and light, and I'm wishing good things for you, and you are a cherished being of light, and I'm really glad that you're here, and I hope I'm supporting you, and I hope you're feeling cherished, and I know at some point we will all be connecting, and maybe we'll be, seeing each other in the physical reality. Maybe we'll be mind to mind like we are right now, except it'll be a little bit more advanced. I don't know. So anyone who's joining us, I hope you come back again, and I'm going to do a show tomorrow night. It's probably going to be really early, so brace yourself. It's probably going to be at like 4:30 tomorrow, because I have plans tomorrow night. So I want good things for you. I'm spinning light. Thanks for getting me through this, everyone. Hey, Bob Harding. To know and share immortal wisdom with me. Aw, spinning light. I hope you liked the video. I'm spinning light, and you're in the center of it, and you're making a wish. You make a wish. What's your wish? I'm making a wish too. I'm making a wish too. And you're in the center of it. I'm spinning light. I'm spinning it counterclockwise, and you're in the middle of it. And I'm sending you light, and I hope good things for you. Everyone be well. We see you tomorrow night. Bye.